There we go. We saw it. Great music. Everyone's pumped up. Thank you and welcome. Welcome to Learning Chromebooks. We have about 44 people today. We have a great show for you. Lots of interesting things to talk about. Let me introduce, first of all, the people that make this show possible. And that would be, of course, Huey Poplar right there. Say hello, Huey.
Hi, Huey.
and of course, myself, Ron Brown, and then of course, Bob Gostisha is with us today as well. Say hello, Bob.
Hello, but not for long.
And we just did Tech for Senior Live about an hour ago, so we're all coffeeed out, but so I think we'll get going with the show. We have a big show for you. I think it's going to be really exciting. I know I learned a huge amount this week in producing some of these videos, so it should be very interesting for everybody. There's going to be a lot of information in these videos, and we'll have those up on our sites so that you can replay them, because there's sort of going to be things that you want to replay. I think we're going to start right away because we have a lot of material to go through, and then we'll leave some time at the end where we can do question and answer. So I think we'll start, Hugh, I'm going to start in the same order you sent them out in. I'll start with Chrome OS 99. Is that okay? We'll do the same order.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, let me just share my screen. This is Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. It is March the 24th, and this is the 18th edition of Learning Chromebooks. Welcome, and today I want to discuss Chrome OS 99. Remember last month we did Chrome OS 98. You should have all got your automatic updates by now. Now Chrome OS 99 is a small update. The big one will be probably Chrome OS 100. But there are 4 features that we're going to talk about today, in addition to the name change. Chrome OS 99 has a name change. Now, you've all seen my spelling is Chrome OS space 99. Well, not anymore. The Chrome OS 99 is all one word. So the operating system now is Chrome, one word, OS 99. Hey, isn't everyone excited? All right, let's go and look at the changes, the 4 changes I want to talk about today. Now, before we do that, I do want to replay the segment I did on flags. Again, some of these sit behind flags, and I want you to feel comfortable with turning on that feature. If you do not, you don't have to worry, because these features will be available at a later date and you won't have to do anything. So if you don't feel comfortable with this, don't worry about it. It's all going to happen probably in the next version or the one after. So these are coming, these features are coming, but by turning on the flag, you're able to see the feature now. So let's have a look at these four features, some of which sit behind a flag, and I'll tell you what you need to turn on in each feature. I would like to talk about the Chrome OS setting flag, FLAG. We are now having monthly updates of the Chrome operating system. This will lead to many new features, some of which will be sitting behind flags. Now, what does that mean, and how do we get to the flag menu? There are really 3 menus for settings that you can get on your Chromebook. So let's see what these are. So most of you are familiar. If we come down to the right side, we're simply going to click on this. We'll get rid of our calendar, and we're going to come over to settings, which is right here. We're going to click on settings, and this will, of course, bring you back up to the traditional setting that you all understand and use. Now, we're going to get out of here, but there's another setting that you can come to, and we're going to come up, and this is the Chrome browser setting. In the early days of Chromebooks, there were 2 different areas that you could find settings. There was within your, of course, Chrome OS, which I just showed you, but also there were, if you come up here, this is your Chrome browser. Your Chrome browser actually has settings. As we come down here, you'll see this is settings. When we click this, you will see it says, if a setting doesn't show, look in your Chrome OS settings. So Google now has made all the settings for a Chromebook in the original settings menu I showed you. If you come to the browser settings, it will just refer you back to the Chrome OS settings, as this does by clicking this button here. But what I want you to do is I want you to come up into the browser, and what we're going to do is we're going to type the word flags, and we're going to hit enter. And this is going to bring you up to the flag menu in the Chrome browser. Now this has all the features that are just about ready for public release. Many of these settings will be enabled for the next version to come out. A lot of the new Chrome features require you to manually turn on the flag to allow those features to work. This doesn't mean they're developmental or experimental features. This just means they haven't been turned on for that particular edition of the operating system. You'll see here I have a number of features enabled. And let's look at the first one here, and we'll be talking about these a little bit later. Drag window to new desk. This is a feature I have enabled. Now if you come down here, you'll see that by default it will not be enabled, and we can either enable it or we can disable it. Once we've done that, we will need a restart of your Chromebook to allow these features to be active. Each month when I describe new features in the Chrome operating system, there may be flags required to make the feature work. I will put that in the show notes and also at the beginning of the segment to indicate what flags you need to change to make the feature work. You can also do multiple flags and then just do one reboot of your Chromebook, which I would recommend. A new feature is creating a GIF in the camera app. A GIF is a video that will loop continuously and doesn't require a play button. Here we are. We're going to come down to the launcher on my Chromebook, bottom left, click the button, and we're going to come to the camera app. We're going to open the camera app, and here I am, waving at everyone, hello, and we're going to come over and I'm going to show you as we come down, we're going to hit video. When we click video, you'll see that we now have an option for a GIF or GIF. I'm going to click this, and then we are going to hit record. And here I am, we are recording, hello, there's my GIF. We're going to say fine, and here it is where we can play it back over and over and over again, myself waving. Also, I just wanted to bring your attention to the feature that we can, of course, the feature, if we click photo, we can change this to square, and when we scan from the camera app, we also can scan a document or scan a QR code. Feature number 2, not behind a flag, is the ability to drag and drop an app from your launcher to the Chromebook shelf. So let's see how this works. We're going to come down on the bottom left corner of our shelf. We're going to click the launcher. Now this brings up this improved menu. It doesn't involve the whole screen. I really like this, and this of course is a feature that was there in the last update. I'm going to take my blood pressure app, watch now. I'm going to drag it now down onto the shelf. There we go. It's now pinned to the shelf. If I don't want it there, I can drag it back up. So it's the ability to drag an app, because before we had to right click and click pin to shelf, and you now see that it's pinned. If we wanted to put it back, we have to unpin it. And that was done by right clicking. But this is cool because we can just take this and just drag it down to the shelf, let it go, and there it is. or we can put it back up. This is a new feature in Chrome OS 99. The third feature does require a flag, and that is filters in a Files app. Let me show you how this works. All right, we're back at my Chromebook. And we're in the Files app. I'm going to click on the Files app, which is on the shelf. And this opens up my Files menu. I'm going to come up to Recents. If you come way up at the top left, and these are all your recent files that you have added to your Files menu. So let's click this, and there's a lot of them. But now you can see that you have filters, audio, images, and videos. And simply by clicking this, it will bring up all your audio files. Click that, images, to bring up all your image files. Click that, and it brings up all your videos. So this filter feature makes it much easier to find and locate files in your recent section of your Files menu on your Chromebook, new for Chrome OS 99. All right, the fourth feature is nearby sharing background scanning. This is a flag that needs to turn on, and this will continually scan looking for people wanting to use the nearby sharing feature. I'll show you the flag in a minute, but we haven't talked about nearby sharing, and it has been available on your Chromebook since Chrome OS 91. So today I wanted to tell you how to use nearby sharing and what the heck is it. Now, if you have a file and you want to share it, you could say, gee, we'll just put it in Google Doc, we'll send a link and people can get it. The same with Google Photos. If you have some photos you want to share, you'll probably just make an album up and share the album. We all do these things constantly and share. But there probably is a time when you are next to somebody in close proximity and you want to share either some photographs, send them photographs, or send them a file. Could be a JPEG, it could be a movie file or an audio file, and you want to transfer the file and give it to them. Now, this would be another Android device. So this works between your Chromebook and an Android device such as a phone. You can transfer files from the phone to your Chromebook or from your Chromebook to the Android phone. Okay? And so this is a feature called Nearby Share, and I'm going to show you how to use this today. Let's have a look. All right, here we are. We're going to come down to the right-hand side of our shelf. Click the menu. And first thing, we'll bring our calendar up. We're going to close the calendar. And here's the Nearby Share feature right here. So we're going to click on the Nearby Share, and it's going to open up a menu. And here's where you can call your share whatever you want. This says Ronald's Chromebook. So I'm going to keep that the same, and we'll move on and click Next. This is the device visibility. This is who you can share information and files with. So if we come up, you'll see that it is a list of our contacts, which would be in Google Contacts. So let's come up to the top left here, and we'll see all contacts. And this comes from your Contacts app. And so you can choose all contacts, and this means that anybody in your contact file will be able to share with you. You can also choose some contacts, or you can remain hidden. So your three choices are all contacts, or you can choose some contacts, or you can remain hidden until you toggle on these one of these two features. We're now on my Pixel 6 phone, and this is an image that I'd like to send to my Chromebook. I'm going to click the little More button at the bottom right. This is at the bottom of my Google Photos image, and you'll see that it says Nearby Share. If you look at the top, it says Nearby Share. We're going to come up and we're going to click the Nearby Share feature. When I do that, it's going to ask me to turn on nearby share, and I'm going to do that. And it asks me to continue. To continue, turn on device location, which uses Google service. I'll say OK. And now it's looking to nearby devices. And remember, I have this now turned on my Chromebook. And here it is. It's finding my Chromebook. And that, of course, would be Ronald's Chromebook. All right, let's come back to my Chromebook menu. I want to come down and look at the visibility. Remember, I've made this visible to everyone in my contact list. But let's say I want to make this visible to everyone. If I click this toggle switch, it will make it visible to anyone trying to do nearby scanning for 5 minutes. It keeps this feature on for only 5 minutes. So let's see what happens here. Now it finds my phone. I'm going to accept. The image is downloaded, and here's my image. Yep, it's now on my Chromebook. I'm going to open in the folder, and we're going to come down, and here is the image right here. I click on this, and here is the image transferred from my phone to my Chromebook using the nearby share feature. Let's look at how we're going to transfer from my Chromebook to my phone. All right, let's transfer a file from my Chromebook to my phone. Here's a file, Faith Hill Doc. This is the one Ray Baxter sent me for our show on Monday. I'm going to click this file, and we're going to come up to the top, and I'm going to hit the share button. And here you'll see the option nearby share. We're going to click this, and it's scanning for nearby devices. It finds my phone. So I'm going to click my phone, and then the next button. And it's transferring the file to my phone. Now, as we move over, I'll show you what it looks like on my phone. Here we are on the phone. You'll see that this is my Pixel 6. It now says the device is sharing. I accept. And bingo, it's that fast. Here is the article, the Faith Hill article. It is now on my phone, transferred from my Chromebook. Well, that was Chrome OS 99. Please remember, if you like this video, the like and subscribe thing. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. All right. So that was Chrome OS, and that was the sharing feature that you can use. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure. I guess there are certain applications when you're going to use it. I mean, it's there, and it's fun to use. We can talk about it a little bit later. Huey, are you ready to go with your segment?
I can do so. I thought you were going to.
Let's do that, and then let's go through them, and then we'll open it up for some question and answers at the end.
Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Back to basics. Why a Chromebook? I'm Huey Poplock. I'm asked often by a friend, fellow user group member, or neighbor if they should buy a new computer because their current computer won't run Windows 11. My answer usually is, have you considered a Chromebook? Not sure if a Chromebook is right for you? Start by making a list of exactly what you need to do on a computer. Include what you'd like to do too. If everything on your list is done in a web browser, congratulations. Chromebooks are a perfect fit. Chromebooks are a tempting option for the budget conscious, especially if you're looking for a new computer that you can easily take on the go. The main thing to keep in mind when comparing a laptop to a Chromebook is that it's not apples to apples comparison. The main difference, besides the price, is the operating system. If you're used to using Windows or a Mac OS, Google's Chrome operating system may not have all of the functionality you need. But then again, maybe it does. And with some Chromebooks, even dipping below $300, maybe you stand to save a bundle of cash by nixing the features you don't use anyway. When Chromebooks first arrived in 2011, they were routinely derided, and rightfully so, for their limited functionality and reliance on a consistent internet connection. The operating system is over 10 years old, and today's Chromebooks, which come in both laptop and 2-in-1 designs, are far from where they started. But some things haven't changed, and you might not be willing to work with the limitations they do have. When Chrome OS launched, it was essentially Google's Chrome web browser. For those used to an operating system like Windows and Mac, it made the average Chromebook seem like a little more than a laptop that runs a web browser, and that's all. Even if the Chrome OS never matured beyond that, the fact is quite a lot can be done entirely on the web these days. Take stock of everything you do on a daily basis, and you may find there's nothing you can accomplish with Chrome as its most basic level. Along those lines, Chromebooks are not natively compatible with Windows or Mac software. Businesses can use VMware on Chromebooks to run Windows applications, but that's not an easy option for most Chromebook owners. However, there is support for Linux software, plus current models can run Android apps, and there are also web apps that are available through Google's Chrome Web Store. Also, if you're considering a Chromebook as a secondary device, it's possible to use Windows or Mac software on a Chromebook by using Chrome's remote desktop feature, and it actually works really well. One of the big hurdles here for many people is access to Microsoft Office. You can't install the full Windows or Mac OS desktop versions of Office software on a Chromebook, but you can use Office 365 online and install the Office Progressive web apps. PWAs act just like mobile apps, so you can use them offline, get notifications, and pin them to the taskbar. Also, if you need advanced photo and video editing capabilities, you'll want a Windows, Mac, or Linux laptop. Basic photo and video editing is fine, but Chromebooks typically don't offer the graphics performance you need for demanding tasks. On the other hand, with streaming game services like Google Stadia, NVIDIA GeForce, now with Amazon Luna and Xbox Cloud Gaming, Chromebooks can now be used for more than Android and browser-based games. You can also install and play Linux games, though you'll need a higher-end Chromebook to do it. Google and Valve have finally launched the fruits of their partnership to bring Steam to Chrome OS. Before we dive in, it's important to note that for the time being, Steam on Chrome OS is only in alpha testing. As such, it's not ready for the average gamer or Chromebook fan, and it requires a complex process to get started. Steam on Chrome OS is not yet available for testing. It should be soon, however. A few hours after a recent announcement, a Google representative posted on the Chromebook community forum to say that the alpha will, in fact, hit the dev channel soon. The rep noted that a small set of Chromebooks would be eligible, but no other details were given. At this stage in the alpha testing, only a handful of Chromebooks are able to install Steam, and all of them were released within the last year. The short version of the current minimum specs for Steam on Chrome OS is that you need to have an 11th generation Intel Core i5 or i7 processor, along with a minimum of 8 gigabytes of RAM. Specifically, any of the following models of Chromebook are supported, again, provided you buy one with a good enough processor and RAM. There's Acer, Asus, HP, and Lenovo models listed there. Importantly, these are just the models of Chromebook that Google is ready for testers to try Steam on at this time. With time, surely more Chromebooks will be able to support Steam, though it's not clear whether any older models will be supported. For this initial launch, Google has prepared a list of 48 games they've tested on various Chromebooks. Some of them need special tweaks to work well, while others may only work on higher-end devices with a Core i7 processor or a minimum of 16 gigabytes of RAM. Steam is the ultimate destination for playing, discussing, and creating games. Steam is a video gaming digital distribution service by Valve. It was launched as a standalone software client in September 2003 as a way for Valve to provide automatic updates for the games and expanded to include games from third-party publishers. Steam has also expanded into online, web-based, and mobile digital storefront. Steam offers digital rights management, DRM, server hosting, video streaming, and social networking services. It also provides the user with installation and automatic updating of games and community features such as friends lists and groups, cloud storage, and in-game voice and chat functionality. The Steam platform is the largest digital distribution platform for the PC gaming and holding around 75% of the market share in 2013. By 2017, users purchasing games through Steam totaled roughly $4.3 billion, representing at least 18% of the global PC game sales. By 2019, the service had over 34,000 games with over 95 million monthly active users. The success of Steam has led to the development of a line of Steam machine microconsoles, which include the Steam OS operating system and Steam controllers, Steam Link devices for local game steaming, and Steam Deck, a handheld personal computer system tailored for running Steam games. Besides gaming, there are also several Android apps available for photo and video editing, including Adobe Options. Several years ago, all Chromebooks were pretty much the same, regardless of what company made them. Now there's a greater variety of laptops and two-in-one convertibles and tablets to take advantage of Chrome OS's current capabilities. If you're just after a good basic experience with a Chromebook, the small, lightweight operating system has a minimal hardware requirement, and the same goes for web apps. Having a faster, higher-end processor, more memory, and greater storage for files and apps will help keep demanding multitaskers moving along. An Intel Core i-Series or AMD Ryzen processor, 8 gigabytes of memory, and 128 gigabyte SSD for storage will take you far, but certainly drives up the cost. Here's a minimum that I recommend when asked what basic Chromebook specs to look for. An Intel Celeron or Pentium, Qualcomm or MediaTek processor, 4 gigabytes of memory, 8 gigabytes is better, 64 gigabytes of storage, and of course more is better, and full HD, which is 1920 by 1080 pixel display. There is flexibility with those recommendations. You can get a 1366 by 768 resolution display, for example, but the cheap ones used in low-end Chromebooks look particularly soft next to a full HD model. It's also worth noting that many times storage and memory are soldered and can't be upgraded after the fact, so you might want to plan ahead. Regardless of what Chromebook you buy, before you buy it, you should find the device's Auto Update Expiration Date, or AUE. Currently, non-Google hardware is only supported for so long before it stops receiving Chrome OS and browser updates, including those for security. For models released now, the date is roughly 7 to 8 years from the initial release of the device. But that's not always the case. Google maintains a list of AUE dates for all models, and you should check it before you buy a Chromebook, new or used. When Chromebooks first launched, they basically became paperweights when they were offline. A real issue if you were in the middle of editing an important document you suddenly couldn't save because your web connection dropped. Things have thankfully gotten better as Google improved offline capabilities, and common apps like Netflix, YouTube, and Spotify have offline options as well. Because of the low hardware requirements of Chrome OS, Not only can Chromebooks be lighter and smaller than the average laptop, but they're also generally less expensive too. New Windows laptops for $200 are few and far between, and frankly are rarely worth buying. Finding a good $200 Chromebook, on the other hand, is pretty easy to do. And while spending more will get you better build quality, more features, or faster performance, even those premium Chromebooks typically start between $400 and $500, but can easily run more than $1,000 depending upon your needs. With Windows laptops, you typically need to spend $700 or more to get a thin, lightweight model with decent performance and battery life that will hold performance for years to come. Just buy a Chromebook. Many people realize they don't need to do any more than what can be done on a Chromebook. If you can't find a web app to meet your needs, all modern Chromebooks can run Android apps too, from the Google Play Store. It's basically this combination and several other key Chrome OS features that make Chromebooks an easier recommendation than they were just a few years ago. Plus, the availability of apps for services like Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, YouTube, and YouTube Music mean you've got plenty of entertainment options. Also, some of the same reasons Chromebooks are good for schools and businesses make them excellent family computers. Everyone in the family can have separate Google accounts, and signing in gives them access to only their stuff and not yours. Accounts for kids can be managed with Google Family Link. It's nearly impossible for Chromebooks to be corrupted with viruses or other malware. And if it isn't running quite right, you can reset it with Chrome's Power Wash feature, and in a couple of minutes, the system is clean and fresh. Now monthly, Google updates the OS for security and adding new features, and installs are quick and painless. Chrome's Phone Hub feature makes it easier than ever for the two devices to work together. For example, if you need a laptop to run full Adobe Creative Cloud software like InDesign and Photoshop, a Chromebook's not a good fit. Adobe does have limited versions of CC apps for Android that are supported on Chromebooks. So depending upon what exactly you're doing, you might be able to get by. Again, though, Chromebooks are not natively compatible with software for Windows or Mac. That said, software maker Parallels now makes Parallels for Chrome Enterprise. It allows you to run full-featured Windows applications. It's mainly for business users, though, and not the best option for regular consumer use. You can also use a Chromebook and its Chrome Remote Desktop to connect to other computers with the Chrome browser installed on them. The Remote Desktop only takes a few minutes to set up and can be used as a workaround for accessing Windows and Mac software on a Chromebook. You can also use it to give tech support to family and friends, or share your computer with them so they can securely access your apps and files. Chromebooks have grown up a lot in the past 10 years, and while they're not a solution for everyone or everything, they meet the needs of a lot of laptop buyers now. This has been Back to Basics. Why a Chromebook? I'm Huey Poplock.
Well, thanks, Huey.
So now you should be able to explain why you use a Chromebook, or if you were thinking about getting one, you'll have an idea of what you can do and how to go about getting started with one.
That's right. And one of the most common questions I get asked is, can you run Microsoft Office on a Chromebook, or can you use Microsoft products? That
I said that, and I bet you can tell us about it.
I am going to tell you about it. And I did make a video about this 2 years ago. And out of all the videos that I've made, I made over 200 videos. It was the second highest. 85,000 people watched this video. The problem is they're still watching and then it doesn't work. So I was angry. Video changed an awful lot. So, but it is still it. So there's a lot of interest. So I think that this is, as of today, this should work. Let me share my screen. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, using Microsoft 365 on a Chromebook. Is it possible? Well, of course it is. And it's free. I'm going to save you some money today. Wow, this is going to be great. You know, 2 years ago, I made a video, Office 365 on a Chromebook. But so much has changed, I've decided to make another video about this, and we'll call this the revised edition. So stay with us, and I'm going to show you how you can use Microsoft products on your Chromebook. But first we have to define what we're talking about. Many people say, I want to use Office on a Chromebook. Well, what is Office? Other people will say, just use Google Drive. Well, what is Google Drive? Google Drive is a physical place, but what is on Google Drive? How do I use that? Let me define exactly what we're talking about. All right, on this side, you'll see on the left-hand side, I have Microsoft products, and on the right side, I have Google products. Now, Microsoft sold a suite of products called Microsoft Office, and this included Microsoft Word, which is a document producer. We have Microsoft Excel, which is a spreadsheet, and we have Microsoft PowerPoint, which is a presentation program. Microsoft bundled these and sold these core products under the term Microsoft Office, which bundled this together and was sold as a CD DVD. You probably remember the famous version Office edition number 10. This occurred probably in the early days of Windows 7. It was said that China produced over 100 times illegal copies than Microsoft ever produced or made legally. So obviously, from a business point of view, this wasn't going to work out. So Microsoft decided to change this, and as we moved into the later stages of Windows 7 and certainly Windows 10 and 11, we saw Microsoft produce Office 365, then it became Microsoft Office 365, and now it's just called Microsoft 365. This, of course, is a subscription service. Now, you don't buy physical CDs, you don't buy DVDs. This is a subscription service to Microsoft. But I will tell you, this is going to be free. Now, Google always had those products available for you for free as part of your Google account. And most people will have a Google account, particularly if you have an Android phone, you use Gmail, you'll have a Google account with a certain amount of data and storage on Google Drive. In fact, you get 15 gigabytes free of charge with all these applications as well that are similar to, of course, the Microsoft applications. So let's have a look at these applications and see how they compare. First of all, you'll see that we have Microsoft Word. Now, Microsoft Word is equal to Google Docs. Google Docs is the product that Google uses. These are very similar products. They can be used interchangeably. Although they have different file formats, it's very easy to open one up and close, and the two work really very similar and are interchangeable. My advice to you, if you are a hard-fast Microsoft Word user, give Google Docs a try. I don't think you're going to see a huge difference between the two. They both work very well and should be easy to use for you. Moving down the list, you'll see Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet, very powerful spreadsheet that has been used for many years. Google Sheets is the same product made by Google. You'll find that the two are interchangeable. File formats are again different, but you can move back and forth through the files very easy. Again, I don't see a huge difference between the two, and I would encourage you to try Google Sheets. The third item down in the list will be Microsoft PowerPoint. PowerPoint has been around for many years and is an industry standard, and one in which I use every day, about 6 or 7 hours a day. So I'm very familiar with Microsoft PowerPoint, And of course, Google makes Google Slides. Google Slides is a presentation program. Again, the formats, you can open up Google Slides in PowerPoint and vice versa. PowerPoint is an industry standard though, and if you are a professional, you are using a PowerPoint for all your presentations, you probably will want to continue on with PowerPoint. Although Google Slides is good, PowerPoint still is the general industry standard. The fourth product we're not going to talk a lot about, but it could be Outlook. Of course, Outlook is your email management software in Microsoft. This again can be used on your Chromebook, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So on the left-hand side, we have Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, which comprise the Microsoft suite. And on the right side, we have Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, which are, of course, the Google suite of products. And we often loosely term this as Google Drive. Although Google Drive has many, many more free software programs for you that come with your Chromebook. So you might want to have a look at that. But when we're comparing Microsoft and Google, these are the three applications that we usually compare. Now, if you're starting out in your Chromebook and you're wondering, should I take all my Microsoft products and try and run them on my Chromebook? I will tell you that generally speaking, I would give the Google products a try. You will find that there are some advantages on a Chromebook using the Google products. Of course, Google makes the Chrome OS that the Chromebooks run on. One of the big advantages, of course, will be using your Chromebook offline. In other words, not connected to the internet. And this, of course, is possible using the Google products, but not possible using the Microsoft products, because you will have to be connected to an online service to do that. The first place that you might want to look for Microsoft products would be the Play Store. So let's click the Play Store on our Chromebook and go and have a look. We're going to do a search, and we're going to search Microsoft. So we come up to the search bar in the Play Store, and we come to Microsoft Office. Let's do a search and see what we find. Well, we're going to find three products where, of course, you see we have Word, we have Excel, and we have PowerPoint. Now, these are the old apps in the Android Play Store. These will not work. If you click on the Microsoft app and you open this after installing it, you'll get an error message saying switch to office.com. This is the new online version, and we're going to talk about using a progressive web app at that service in a few minutes. But this will not work. If you have these old apps on your Chromebook, please delete them and remove them, as they will cause conflict. You do not want to use the Play Store to get your Microsoft apps for your Chromebook. Where you need to go is to the Chrome Web Store. So now we're on my Chromebook. Let's click the Web Store, and it will bring up this menu. In the top, I want you to type in Office, and we'll come up to the top here in the search. We're going to type in Microsoft Office. And this is going to bring up some extensions. These are Chrome extensions. And as we come down, you can see here is one for Office. You're going to add this, and this is going to add Office as an extension to your Chrome browser. And this will work if you have Windows 10 or 11 as well. It works in your browser. So we're going to click this, and we're going to add this as an extension to your Chrome browser. We're then going to come down, and we're going to add Word Online and Excel Online as browser extensions as well. Let's go to our extension menu, and let's come down, and we'll see Microsoft Office here, and we're going to sign in to our Microsoft account. And when we do, you'll see that all our files are going to be here. As I click the button for Word, it will open up my Word account on OneDrive, and here are all my files. But if you look up at the top, what we're really doing is we're linking this to the office.com, which is of course the online version of Microsoft Office. Now, I've told you that the Microsoft apps in the Play Store don't work. So I've shown you how to install the Chrome extensions, which have the Microsoft Office available. Now, the preferred method is to come over to the Microsoft site at office.com and sign in to your Microsoft account. This will enable you to download the Progressive Web App. Now, you come over to office.com and you have a number of options. Now, the sign in to your Microsoft Office account is really the sign in to your Microsoft account. So if you signed in Windows 10 or 11, you can use the same sign in and password. It will automatically find your Office 365 account if you have signed up for one. Now here we are logging in. I say yes. Now we'll see that I'm in my Microsoft account, which is, this is OneDrive, and you'll see that all my files are here. So on the left-hand side, you'll see all the apps that are available for you. So the important thing for you to understand here is that we are at the same point whether we use the Chrome extension or logged into our Microsoft Online account. The Chrome extension simply takes you to this point quicker into your online account. Nothing has changed. So whether you go and type in www.office.com or whether you use the Chrome extension, the point at which you are going to access your account is exactly the same at the present time. So here is the trick and the point of this video. Come up to the very top and you'll see a little button here. When you click that, it then says install this app. And you're going to click this and install it. And then what you're going to notice is that your software will open up. In this case, it's a PowerPoint slide. What you've just done is you've downloaded and installed the Progressive Web App for Microsoft Office. Now this is downloaded and installed on your Chromebook. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is the way that you get the app. It's not found in the Chrome Web Store or the Android Play Store. It is found on the Microsoft site. All right, this is my Chromebook, and I have Microsoft Office installed as an extension and as a PWA. So let's have a look at it as a PWA. Remember, I've downloaded and installed that app from the Microsoft site. So if we come to the launcher, you'll see that here is the Office app that is installed as an app on my Chromebook. But this is not from the Play Store. This is from Microsoft, and this is called a PWA, or a Progressive Web App. I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. And this is now, I've dragged it down, and of course it is now on the shelf on my Chromebook, which is here. If we click on this, this will take us right to my Microsoft account, and of course all the software that I want to use is along the left here. And if I open my PowerPoint presentation up, here we go. And here is my PowerPoint presentation. Now, I'm going to close this now. But I also have this installed as a Chrome extension. So if I come up to the top, you'll see, of course, as we come along over the top here, you'll see these are my extensions. And if I come to the extensions menu and you come down here, you'll see here is my Office extension, and I've clicked the pin on, and I've pinned it so it is always active at the top here. So now I have it as an extension, as a Chrome extension, but I also have it as installed as a progressive web app. And you're going to say, well, Ron, what's the difference? But let's come back up here. Let's just click this. And again, you'll see here's all my all the software that you can use. And we click on Word. And of course, it will open up. It'll open up in Word. And here are all my files. So we have the ability to do this in both ways. At present, there is no difference between the progressive web app that you see on the bottom shelf here and the Chrome extension. Microsoft hasn't built into the progressive web app the ability to use this offline. The goal of progressive web apps, of course, will be that these are an app that you can use and you'll be able to use all the functionality offline. But Microsoft hasn't built that into this particular progressive web app. So at present, if you plan on using Microsoft Office on your Chromebook, it is available. You can use it for free, but it's not going to be available offline. This is unlike the Google products on your Chromebook, which of course you can use offline. Microsoft Office on a Chromebook. Hey, it's free! Now you remember the like and subscribe. We sure appreciate it. If you're interested, Huey Poplick and I have a monthly... All right, we don't need any commercials. All right, so hopefully that explains how you can do this. That's I tested it out, tried it over and over again, and that's how you would run the Microsoft products. Now, the one thing that I didn't explain, which I probably should have, is that if you go back to the original menu in the office.com, it said, do you want to sign up for a free? And that's where you'd do is you'd come down and sign up for a free license, and that's where you would pick it. I pay for Office 365, so when I log into my Microsoft account, boom, it automatically comes up and all those programs are there for me. So you would need to create the free, if you don't have an account, you need to create a free account in that space, and that would solve that problem. All right, so let's open it up to any questions. We are at almost top of the hour, but I'm happy to stay later until my tummy gets too full or too empty, because it'll be lunchtime. I'm happy to stay and answer any questions. Huey, I'm sure Huey, how are you? Are you getting hungry or what's happening? Are you okay?
Yeah, it's getting really cloudy here, ready to do a downpour, and probably you'll hear some lightning, or you won't hear lightning, but you'll hear thundering.
Okay. Well, Dorothy, I'm glad you put, because you asked this question. This was made for you, Dorothy.
I know,
you asked the question last month. You said, Ron, what's the best way to use Office on a Chromebook? And so this was made for you.
well, I followed along as you did everything, but I did not get, I added all the extensions and I don't get anything what you're showing. So I just rebooted my Chromebook, but I even updated my Chromebook because your first part, I didn't see any of those either in 99. So
yeah, there's no flags with this, so it should be available. If you go to office.com and do you have an Office?
I do.
You have a 365 account?
I do.
So you should be able to, when you go to office.com, just log in. Just log in. Could you log in?
Well, I was just going to do that when I put my hand up. I'll do that.
Yeah, just go and log in. And at the top, you should see that little button that I showed you, that you click that and that'll download the PWA onto your Chromebook.
Oh, okay. Even like I've added all the extensions. Like
the extensions should be there. They should be at the top on your Chrome browser.
Okay.
Yeah, they should be there. But you want the PWA app as well. So if you do that, just go there. And I appreciate that you'll probably want to watch this video again, because there's a lot of technical stuff in here. So I appreciate that. And that will be online probably by the end of the day. We'll have this all done for you, so you can watch it again.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Joan. Unmute yourself.
You're
John,
muted.
Joan, we're muted. We can't hear you. You have to push the space bar, or
There we go.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, gotcha. Okay, as I say, I'm fairly new to Chromebook. This morning I received an email that I was to click on the link to take me to the browser. On my PC, I just left click and it took me right to the browser. When I used my Chromebook, I had to highlight and copy and paste it. Is there an easier way, or am I missing something about the linking on clicking on a link to take you to the browser? Why would it expect me to copy and paste it?
I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. So are you having trouble in the Chrome browser, or you want to get to the Chrome browser?
I was clicking on the link in my Outlook to take me to the browser. It was concerning a flight reservation. And
So you're in Microsoft Outlook then?
Yes, correct.
On your Chromebook.
On my Chromebook.
Okay. So
why? When I tried it on my PC, I just left click and it just took me right to the browser. But on my Chromebook, I had to copy and paste it to get to the browser.
Okay. All right. I see. So you are using. All right. So that's that. Okay. So that makes sense. I understand now. So, yes, indeed, because of course you're in a Windows environment. So if you're in Outlook, you're in your Outlook. You've probably gone through the web portal, and you're in your Outlook email, and the link is in the Windows side of things, right? And so
I was on Outlook, my email on my PC. I tried both of them. That was why I was curious why it would be any different on the Chromebook.
How are you using Outlook on your Chromebook?
As well, it's in the cloud.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. You are in the cloud and you're using Outlook, and you're looking at the email through Outlook in the cloud, and that is a Windows function. So I guess what's happening is when you click that link, you're correct. In a Windows 10 or 11 situation, that's going to open the browser up. It's going to open that up. It's going to open that link up. But obviously, that link isn't that's in the Windows side of things. That's why you're going to have to copy and paste it into the browser on a Chromebook, because we're two different operating systems. It's not the same operating system.
Okay. All right. I sort of see one's a Chrome operating system and one's a micro. Okay. All right.
Now, one thing you might consider. What is your email address? You don't have to tell me what the address is, but is it a dot? Is it a Hotmail, or is it a?
It's Outlook.com.
It's an Outlook.com one. Okay. So you can actually go to Outlook.com, and you can actually, instead of going through Outlook, you can actually just use it as the same as Gmail, and you can use it the same as Hotmail. They're all available, and you can just use that rather than going through the Outlook piece of software, and that will solve some of that problem.
Okay. All right. We'll try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As I say, I'm learning sort of all the ins and outs of Chromebook. So
Yeah. But that's going to be a stumbling block for you, because you're running it through the Outlook. You see, in Outlook, in Windows, in Outlook, you can put Gmail in there. You can put Outlook. You can put Hotmail. You can put all sorts of email clients in your Outlook. Outlook is really a management system for all your email, and it works in Windows. Okay, so it is if you're going to use it in, if you want to use your Chromebook and you want to really get the best approach for your email, just use it as your email address, because it'll be xyz.outlook.com, right? So it'll use that as your email address.
Joan, do you use Outlook for other email addresses as well, or do you only use it for your Outlook account?
Outlook account, only the one.
Okay, if you go into just Outlook.com,
Right,
and sign into the email
Right.
That way, when you click on the link, it will
Correct.
work.
It'll work.
I don't,
Okay,
Okay.
when I use Outlook on my Chromebook, I use the Outlook.com. In other words, the online version rather than the program online.
okay. You're getting into finer points. I'll have to ask Dorothy or George.
Because it's the
Right.
same thing. It keeps the same information is there.
Right.
You'll
Okay.
still be able to read your emails, but you'll
Okay,
find. I even do it on my. A lot of times I'll do it on my PC. I'll sign into my Outlook.com. I'll go to Outlook.com and then sign into my email that way instead of using Outlook. Although I use Outlook, I've been using Outlook for years, and all of my PST files are gigabytes and gigabytes full because I have emails going back to 2001.
mhm.
But
Okay.
sometimes I just go online to the online version, and then you can click on anything; it'll work the same way.
Okay, thanks, Terry. Thanks, Ron.
Okay. Murray, go ahead.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted. Yes, I just want to mention that certainly the Chromebook that I got, the price was absolutely right, $70 US. But and I find the keyboard a little bit strange. When I push go, I touch type, but I push. There's some funny keys beside the shift that I accidentally hit sometimes instead of the shift key. Also, I'll just mention that although, of course, it's probably less than a tenth the price, my MacBook is half the thickness and half the weight. Although I think the
And 10
battery
times
life,
the price.
huh?
And 10 times the
10
price.
times the price. So, but I wanted to say I did get the pin to unlock now. But
Okay.
one thing I find that is still annoying is every time I want to change anything in settings, it still demands my password. It won't settle for my pin.
Yeah, that's now can we turn that off? I can't. I don't think you can turn that off because that's a security feature.
Yeah, I think so. So that's a bit pain, but I have the password somewhere I can copy and paste it.
Okay.
So it's not too bad a deal now, as long
Chris
as it
Gould
unlocks.
got a question.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. Go ahead. Chris, go ahead.
Thanks, Huey. Ron, regarding PWAs, can you hear me okay on
Yeah, I
this?
can hear fine. Yeah, fine.
Okay, I'm on a different Chromebook, so its microphone is better than the other one.
Sure, go ahead.
I wonder if there is any surefire way to know when you're in an application whether you are on the PWA or the Android app. I think I have figured it out for Google Photos, but then I don't see the same indicators when I'm in Zoom. Am I using the PWA or not? Or Gmail, is there a surefire way to know if you're using the PWA?
Yes, you should be. I can show you that actually. First of all,
Great.
There is no more Android app. Okay, so if you have an Android app, that's what I want everybody to do. If you have an Android app on your that you got from the Play Store and you're trying to use Word with it, it shouldn't work. And if you try to use it, it'll just say go to office.com. And one of the problems, if you don't delete it off your Chromebook, when I tried to when I downloaded the PWA, it wouldn't install properly because it's trying. I don't know. There's some conflict between the two. So please get rid of those if you're going to use that.
But the Google Photos Android app still works.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, this is.
Oh, okay. So you're just talking about Office.
This is only the Office. Okay.
Okay.
Android apps, the Android for Office, whether you're using Excel, Word, whatever you're using, won't work from the Android store. You only have two options. You only have two options. What's that?
Ron, what she's asking is there a way, whatever program you're using, if it's a PW, is there a way of knowing if it's a PWA or if it's an Android?
I should be able to show you that here. I'll show you that in a second. But
specifically Office, because we know Office won't work. The old Office won't work.
So you have two choices on your Chromebook, as I showed you. You have an extension, right? And then you have the PWA. So those are your two options. So the question is,
cross out Office, just PWAs in general.
Oh, I don't know.
Google Photos, Gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all different, and it's different. But let me just show you the difference here, and maybe we can have a look at that. Okay, I'm going to just share my screen with my Chromebook here. All right. So if you look here, let's go to the top, and the top. This is the extension. Okay. So let me click on this, and now we're going to let's go to a Word document. So we're going to bring this up now. And of course, the document at the top here, as you'll see, which we will see on, you talk about this all the time with Google Photos. This is obviously the online, right? Because we can see the URL at the top,
Right. Okay.
So, and you talk about this all the time in Google Photos, because you say, well, that's one of the ways you can see that, because you've got the URL right at the top, right?
Yeah.
And this is the Office extension. All right. So let's close this then. Now we're going to go down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the PWA. This is the PWA. Okay. So we're going to click this, and you see, you don't see that, right?
Right.
There's no URL. This is the PWA running off my, and if I click on the document, what happens is, in the way the document, did it find it? Yeah, let's see, it's coming up. Here's the document. But the way remember what I said, Chris, is that this particular PWA that's written is written only to redirect you back up to OneDrive and do it online. And that's just the way Microsoft has written it. You could have this and have all the code for it as an app right on your Chromebook, but Microsoft hasn't done that. And that's different with each PWA. It depends on what the software development team has done. And I guess for their own reasons, all as this PWA does is direct you back to the online version, right? And that's why I say there's no difference between an extension and this particular PWA. But that doesn't mean a developer that wrote another PWA couldn't have the whole thing written, all the software code for the application to be written within the PWA. That's the beauty of the PWA. That's the beauty of the PWA, is it you can choose, right? But Microsoft has chosen to simply say, hey, if you want to use this on a Chromebook, you have to go to office.com. We're not providing any more an actual app that's going to run offline on your Chromebook. And that's just Microsoft's decision.
Okay. But then with Google Photos, anyway,
Different.
what I
That's
know,
different.
I have 3 choices.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. But that's
And it's taken work to figure out how to know which one I'm on.
That's right.
And Zoom, same thing. Zoom, I think I'm on the PWA app
Right.
of Zoom, but I don't know how to tell for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's a difficult one. And again,
Okay.
that's difficult. And so there isn't, but if Microsoft had written that PWA and they had put the code for Excel, Word, and PowerPoint into the PWA, then when I open that PWA, it wouldn't just direct me back up to, OneDrive. It would be right there. But Microsoft has said, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to send everybody back to OneDrive for whatever reason that was.
So what you're telling me is PWAs are individual to the application. However the developer chose to implement it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Fair enough. Thank you.
And some PWAs could, of course, work on Chromebooks, Windows, the Apple, the iOS. PWAs can be written in different ways, right? And so there are some that would be written in all those different languages. Okay. Any other questions? Nobody used. Has anyone used the nearby share?
I've never used it.
Never used it. Yeah. Now here's one thing that Bill James on our last Monday show talked about nearby share in Windows 11 and Windows 10, right? If you go back and you look at that show, it's exactly the same icon, and it's a Windows nearby share, right? And Bill talked all about that. So I thought, this is cool. I wonder if Windows will let you do nearby share to your Android phone or your Chromebook. That was I thought, and Bill didn't know. I asked Bill, so I was testing it out, and maybe it's above my pay grade. I don't know, but I couldn't make it work. So I don't think that it works, but it is the same nearby share icon, and maybe someone can figure it out, but it's above my pay grade. I couldn't make the Windows Android share near share thing work, but it is, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I couldn't do it. So
I've seen it pop up on my computer, but I haven't actually done it. So I'll give it a shot, Don, and let you know.
But nearby share you can do from Chromebook to Chromebook, Chromebook to Android phone to Chromebook. You can do those links. That's not a problem. You'll see it right away. It'll pop up and it'll be fine. The issue is that on my PC, could the nearby share from a Windows PC share to an Android? And
Windows 11.
or 10 has it. I think 10 has it as well. I
think it's supposed to work, but
I don't know. I can't make it work. So
the other thing is the connection between a Chromebook and Windows. I forgot what it was called now, and I even mentioned it in my PowerPoint. The one that works like a team viewer or something like that, where you can connect and operate. Has anyone ever used that with their Chromebook to a PC? Anyone on here? I'm going to attempt to try to figure that out, and maybe that will be next month.
yeah, that'd be a good. That's the the Chrome is a browser shares, like Michael Daniels showed us how to do that, right? Remember, that's being done. I just don't do that. So anyway, that's lots of fun stuff anyway. So have a look at that. And we'll soon be getting Chrome OS 100. So that's cool. Anyway, if we have no more questions, then we'll have this video out probably later on today or tomorrow. And I'll also have these individual videos within that we played today up on the channel this afternoon.
Yeah, mine will be on my channel.
Yeah, and he'll be over there. So it'll be on Tech for Senior. So if you want to play this back again, you can certainly do that. And
by all means, use them for your user groups.
Yeah.
If you're in user groups, use them for yourself. Share them with your neighbors, your kids, grandkids, great grandkids.
And for sure, spread the word about learning Chromebooks. We want to see it grow, and we want to see more and more people coming each month. It takes a lot of work to create these videos, so we really want to see it used. So if you have computer clubs, if you have user groups, please talk it up and get people to come. All right, I think that's it, Huey.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm getting
Thank
hungry.
you, everybody, for joining us.
All right.
And
Okay.
I guess we'll see you Monday.
Yeah, and we'll see everyone Monday. Until next month, we'll see you again. Bye now.